Welcome back to this coding bootcamp presentation of the introduction to the Java programming language. This session is session 5, where we talk about writing methods. So a brief recap: we've covered application tiers, we've covered computer hardware, we've covered installing our IDE, creating classes, instantiating classes. We looked at conditional constructs, we looked at loops, and now we're going to actually talk about our methods. So we'll talk about static and dynamic allocation, declaration of methods, methods with multiple parameters, method call stacks, which is we'll take a closer look at how memory is managed in Java, scope in the declaration of variables, promotion and casting of data, design methods for reusability, and method overloading. The materials we need are these PowerPoint slides, and there will be lab reference material. So previously we've talked about modifier types, the return types of methods. We talked about the parameter list in those parentheses and what goes in the body of a method. And here we are going to talk about modifying a class or adding that functionality to the class. So how do we want to pass parameters into a class? How do we want to write a method that takes a parameter or a list of parameters? And we know that those parameters go in the parentheses of that method. And if you want a method to return multiple parameters, how would we structure that, and how would we actually set up a declaration where different types of data are passed into our methods? Well, here we can see that you can actually do something, and I'll introduce a term now called overloading methods. So we have a class and we have 3 methods, all the same name. But notice here they are taking different parameters. So you can have methods of the same name, provided that they have a different parameter list. And obviously most likely these would have different code blocks and perform slightly different functionality. So this is one way we can modify a class, have similar functionality, but we can modify that functionality by how we pass in parameters and the code block, how those parameters are actually processed. So stay tuned for the next video where we talk about the method call stack. We'll actually have some work with these methods in the lab, so also stay tuned for our lab review video, which will be near the end of this session. We will actually look at how we can modify different classes with methods, and also methods that are overloaded.